I'll do some shorter videos, you know. I know attention spans have dropped severely since I've last done the video, so I will be probably just entering into the realm of 15-second, 30-second dancing TikToks. Okay, maybe I should start again. We had a good run, you know. I say we, you know. It's just me going down on the Titanic here. The title of this video, it's not clickbaity. The business is, it's no more. I had to put it down myself the other day, okay? Well, not the other day, but it was, you know, June 2024, the 10th anniversary of my business. I decided, you know, it had completed its journey. It could do no more. It was infested with AI. Took over everything. So the best thing I could do at that point was to put it out of its misery. Now, what does that mean for me? Am I getting put down as well? Not really. C'est la vie, you know? I had a good run, 10 years. And the future is bright, you know? I've transitioned into giving workshops and presentations for various colleges about AI. Quite happy to talk about it. Quite happy to be the, not quite the doomsayer. I mean, I fully believe in AI. I think it is the future. I think it is a great complementary tool which shouldn't be ignored. However, we should use it ethically. And I think a lot of students would benefit from being shown the benefits of it. You know, it's not something that's illegal or should be banned. That's stupid, you know, and colleges realize that. So yeah, it's interesting to see where it's taken a lot of people. I won't be the first business to go down because of AI. You know, anyone in the same sphere as me, you know, consultants, academics, proofreaders, editors, they will find that over time, things will gradually wind down. So my future role will be to move into a career, ? I'm not quite sure where I'm going to end up. I'm looking at a few options. You know, famous last words before you just end up, you know, emigrating or whatever. I mean, I have a few options. I might go back into teaching. I do like teaching. I do like doing my workshops, my presentations. I do like the idea of going back into higher education. Further education, there's a lot of exciting things. That's another possibility I could entertain. You probably saw with the website, fairly simple, shift over, just career projections just became drbillmallon.com, which has always been a dream of mine. Not quite the website I'd imagined when I was younger, but you know, what can you do? You can see here my relatively simple setup, cameras in the background. You know, it can be a bit of a hassle trying to set that up sometimes, you know, getting the lighting right and things like that. So yeah, look, I don't want to keep anyone too long. I hope you enjoy these videos. I won't be appearing in them as much. It'll be mostly a visual thing, an oral thing, you know, so. And I hope at the end of these videos, you will see that there is a future for business people and AI, especially if AI has taken a chunk out of your business or hollowed it down to nothing. You know, I want you to remember that it's a complementary tool. It doesn't always have to replace people. On some of these videos, you will see that a lot of institutes, colleges, even businesses, they're not quite sure what to do. Do we let the students use it? Do we let our workers use it? They're still on that teasing out phase, not quite certain where it's all going to lead. So I offer my thoughts on that for some solutions to that. I'll still be here to help people with their thesis, no matter what guise that is, you know, if you're undergrad, postgrad, postgrad, you know. I've decided for the format of the videos that there is enough out there already on breaking down, you know, simply what ChatGPT is, what this is, what that is. I will have some of those videos in the demos and things like that, but I'd much prefer to focus on the philosophical elements of AI. You know, how do we assess for it? How do we control for it? When is controlling something too much? One of the videos I have is on the panopticon. It's going to be a bit of a danger for colleges not to fall into. We don't want a 1984 type situation. Other videos are on the benefits for lecturers, ethical research. That's a huge part of my whole career. It's always been a big part of it. Ethical research, you know, not plagiarizing. People were coming to me and going, can you write my thesis? Can you write my essay? And it was always no. When you've written your own thesis, you'll never write another thesis again for no amount of money. So, but also it's an impossibility. You know, I don't know your research. But rather than chase those people away or chastise them, I always went, how can I get you to do your thesis? and for you to enjoy it somewhat. And how can I help, So a lot of that good-natured, optimistic, hopeful thing is in these videos, because I do believe that we will get to some agreement on AI as we go along. Everyone always talks about AI murdering all of us. That's a human thing. That's a projection we put onto something else we create. If it ever became sentient, it would no longer be beholden to human fallacies and human issues, Now, if I am wrong about that, we won't be here to debate it or give out to me. We'll all be dead. I'm also going to have videos on elicit. It's going to be me demoing elicit. That's going to be fun. I'm going to show you how to do a literature review in a few minutes. I'm going to show you how to talk to different papers, form a thematic analysis, all that sort of stuff. I'm also going to have a video on Copilot and Chat PDF. I'm going to show you how to write your thesis using AI. Not so you can submit it though, okay? I'm going to show you how easy it is for you to be caught. A lot of people, including my own students, think, oh, the academic staff do not realize what AI is, And that's true. A lot of students, including my own, think these old people, do not know how to use AI. That is true for the most part. I will give them that. That's okay. There's a lot of catch up to be done, but your students see that and they're thinking, I can get away with this. And they do get away with it for a lot because there is no standardized AI detection tool. A lot of it is just based off detective work, which a lot of us do not want to engage in. It's a lot of work that takes us away from our actual job. So I hope that goes away with time. I hope students realize that we do know how to use these tools. And in that video of me demoing how to use these tools, I hope you will see how easy it is for us to spot when you do use it. Now, on the flip side, I want academics to also engage with those videos because it's good for you to know how these tools are being used, because we sometimes forget that AI benefits everyone, not just the student. And a lot of academic staff want it banned, but it's like, well, it could be very useful for you. And those videos will show just how beneficial the whole thing can be for everyone. So yeah, look, that's it, I don't have nothing else to say. I'm run ragged, It would mean a lot if you subscribe, like my videos, share them among your friends and family. Have a party, invite people over. What better way to spend Saturday than watching my videos? Yeah, so look, I look forward to seeing you in the rest of the videos. I will be in them to some degree, popping in and out, just checking, make sure, people don't forget about me. I will miss it, of course, Career Projections has been very good to me. It's allowed me to travel around when I was traveling around working with the job, giving presentations, workshops, doing these videos, It's been mad, because I usually would shy away from anything that forces me to do camera work, but I actually enjoy it. Sometimes you're kind of like focusing on yourself and you're like, oh God, I can't release that, because it is, everyone is self-conscious doing it, And there's also the mad thing is like, everyone has fast forwarded through this bit to just get to the video. So I'm probably talking to myself here, Oh my God, when is he going to stop fucking talking? So yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say for now. Enjoy the video and I will see you in the next one. I do get it, okay? There are a lot of challenges and they're still persisting to this day. The usual ones: privacy concerns, data security, potential bias, the usual ethical considerations. But there's a lot more than that. And I'm going to get into those in this video and in the other companion videos. Because the integration of AI into education, it does require careful implementation. And of course, we do have to address issues of equity, transparency, and of course, the most important thing, which is the preservation of human elements in learning. So while AI does have the potential to revolutionize education, its adoption does necessitate collaboration among various stakeholders. And this is going to ensure responsible and effective use. Again, balancing technological advancements with ethical considerations. And as I mentioned earlier, the need for human interaction in the learning process. Now, every half-assed video starts with several questions we can ask ourselves. And I'm going to try and break them down into their various guises. So obviously, one of the first ones I have here is personalized learning and AI integration. Some of the questions I see across studies and questions that get asked of, I suppose, me in my workshops and presentations is how can AI be effectively integrated into education? So how do we tailor it to individual student needs, essentially? Another question is, what are the opportunities and challenges of using AI for personalized learning in education? So what's the benefits, what's the drawbacks? Another important guise includes ethical considerations and challenges. So what are the ethical implications of implementing AI in educational settings? Privacy concerns, data security, potential biases, these are all elements that float around that question. And that also leads into another sub-question of that, which is the obstacles to AI adoption and some potential solutions regarding that. Now, the most important question, impact on teaching and learning. This is, I feel this question too many times. How does AI transform traditional teaching and traditional learning methods? Essentially, you're the salesman at the door. What can you do for me that's not been done already by 50 different technologies we've been using over the last 30 years, 40 years? And that question also comes up in a number of papers, the role of AI in enhancing educational processes and outcomes. So the big thing around that, obviously, academic integrity, student participation, student retention in terms of their brain and academic performance, they're all orbiting that particular question. The future of AI, what's the potential future development of this technology? Every day I turn on the computer, something has changed, something has evolved. And I think that sort of forward-looking question is important. And it's been addressed multiple times across multiple studies. What's the emerging trends? What are the possibilities? Will I be replaced by a robot? Will the Terminator come true? All these type of questions that keep us awake at night. The incorporation of AI into educational settings has definitely led to the development of various tools and systems. Okay, we see them every day. But what we sometimes fail to forget is that they're not tools designed for cheating or to destroy jobs. They were built to enhance learning experiences, and the hope is that they would streamline educational processes. And that's why I think the whole issue, or I suppose issue is a bad word, the whole discussion around personalized learning, because AI does enable the customization of learning experiences. And it does this theoretically and obviously, in practice by analyzing individual student data, and it can then tailor content, pace, and difficulty levels. And this type of personalization does allow students to learn at their own pace and according to and it's very important, their unique learning styles. And the outcome from that is that you will have improved academic outcomes. And if we look at multiple studies here, we can see that type of personalized learning in action. And there's been great success. Yes, of course, there's been challenges and negatives, but the good will always outweigh the bad in these instances. And we have to change the record on it. We can't just keep saying, make it illegal, ban it, kick that student out of the college because they used AI. No, we can't do that. That's ridiculous. That's regressive. That's a forward-thinking student, whether you like it or not. And punishing those type of students when, and I'll be quite blunt here, a lot of academic staff have not been teaching about AI sufficiently and how to use it correctly, mainly because said academic staff don't have a clue about it and can't teach about it and can't teach around it. And I will offer a sort of an olive branch towards those type of people. That's also the fault of the college not having some sort of rules and regulations. Now, I know this thing came out of left field, but it also didn't. It's been on the books for a long time. You just chose to bother about it too late, essentially. Well, that's a separate video. It's going to be one of my more contentious rants. I'll probably be on camera for that so you can see, my hair fall out in real time. But I digress, okay? Look, we need to get back on topic. This is where AI can come in handy, actually. It can stop people like myself from rambling. Intelligent tutoring systems, okay? That's another big one. Loads of studies here about it. Again, personalized tutoring, feedback, analyzing students' strengths, weaknesses, and learning goals. And the goal of that is that it helps students understand their progress and any areas they need improvement in. And you can complement that with your own human input into that. That real-time support by AI, it does foster a more responsive and effective learning environment. Again, we can see that across multiple studies where it has been implemented. Now, we all love abbreviations and acronyms here, okay? ALMS, Adaptive Learning Management Systems. We're all very familiar with them. And these can use AI to analyze data on students' past performance as well as their interactions with the learning materials. Theoretically, okay, dynamically adjusting the lesson content and the difficulty. And outside of the realm of theory, we have practical examples here of where that was working. Now, chatbots, virtual assistants, if anyone has seen Star Wars, your very own C-3PO, your very own R2-D2. Not quite as annoying or contentious, they won't break down or give you a lip. And again, 24/7 support for students. No human is going to offer that to any student, okay? These chatbots, assistants can answer questions, they can assist with any tasks. We've seen that with ChatGPT. When you teach students how to use it properly, we can see it, certainly. And we can move the needle away from the conversation of, hey, ChatGPT, please write my essay. And if you teach students how to use it properly, they don't ask that question anymore. They start saying, hey, ChatGPT, I have an assignment to do. I'm not too sure how to structure it. Can you give me examples? And then two of them work together. I mean, we need to get away from this idea that humans are somehow divorced from technology. We're glued to our phones 24/7. We're essentially a half cyborg race. The technology is just not embedded in our head yet. We need to move that conversation away from, oh, well, it's removing critical thinking. It does if you don't teach them how to use it properly. And I'll always offer the same retort or riposte to that. Critical thinking has been slowly dying since social media came about. So I don't want to hear any more conversations about AI being the cause of the decline in critical thinking. We've all had Facebook arguments. We've all had Twitter arguments. We all know the positions of power that have been filled by the worst type of people around the world. That wasn't caused by AI. I need to get back on topic here, okay? Automated grading and assessment, okay? Again, look, I'm a man of multiple studies here, okay? AI algorithms can automate that grading process I just mentioned there. And again, it provides instant feedback to students. And here's the big one, guys. It saves time for you. And then that time can be spent doing on things you love. Obviously, what you love in relation to this should be still within the realm of your job. It's not a tool that allows you to then catch up on your Netflix series. And that's why I mentioned it earlier in the video, is that it provides more time for teaching. Teachers love to teach. We all love to teach. We don't like admin tasks, bureaucratical folders of paper we have to fill in. And sometimes we don't like, the laborious job of like grading and assessment and things like that. We want to instill our knowledge to people. We want to create mirrors of ourselves, I suppose, is the big secret. And if AI can allow me and others to do that more effectively and give us more time to do that and enjoy it, happy days. Happy days. Content generation, another dirty term in relation to AI. Again, a man of multiple studies, okay? Check this out. All the times it can generate material, curriculum plans, module, quizzes, textbooks. And you can just throw your notes into something like ChatGPT and say, hey, look, I'm thinking about writing a guidebook on this. Here's all my notes. Help me streamline it, add new material, or tell me where to get the new material. All that type of stuff. It's here whether you like it or not. And again, my friends in STEM, virtual laboratories, simulations, essentially it's the holodeck from Star Trek. It's here now, don't abuse it. And these virtual environments, they do allow students to conduct hands-on experiments and to explore scientific concepts in a safe and immersive manner. The goal of that, I'm sick of saying it, enhancing student engagement. And it also offers, additional learning opportunities, as the papers note here. Now here's a vast roll call of different studies on the benefit of AI in education, from primary school, post-primary, further education, higher education. And do a separate video on how AI is good for continuous professional development or for career development, because sometimes we forget that the goal of teaching students is to prepare them for the workforce they're going into. That workforce is going to want them to know about AI, especially if they enter into a profit-driven field, or a field that's like, we need efficiency. We need workers who are super efficient, super knowledgeable, super up to date. And then, John and Mary rock out of Irish University, I won't name any, and the manager's like, we need you to write a report on this. We need all the information on this. We need a solid report with solid facts, blah, blah, blah. Use AI to help do that. Well, actually, I come from a college where traditional academic principles are taught. So I'm going to have to go missing for about 6 months while I go to the library and read every single book there and find information that way. Academic integrity does not mean zero efficiency. The two can coexist, and they have to coexist now. Bill, what about the challenges? I can't sleep at night anymore because AI has taken over my life. What do I do? You need to talk about the challenges. Here we go, okay? This is for you, baby. Yes, despite all the benefits myself and the papers mentioned, it does raise several challenges. Now, we are trying to solve them. It's going to take a bit of time, but we have to acknowledge them. Yes, of course. One of the big ones, privacy and data security. Now, the use of AI in education does involve the collection and analysis of massive amounts of student data, and that does raise concerns about privacy and data security. So we have to make sure that that information is protected from breaches and misuse, and that trust overall is maintained. Another less mentioned challenge, but something certainly I've noticed and other people have noticed, algorithmic bias. So these AI systems, they can perpetuate or even amplify existing biases if they're not carefully designed and monitored. And that can lead to the unfair treatment of certain students. It can exacerbate existing inequalities within the educational system. In the other videos I have here, I'll go into much more detail on that. There's also the issue of, certain studies being prioritized over other studies because they might be seen as more popular. Anyone that spent 5 minutes doom scrolling through TikTok or Instagram will know all about the idea that the cream does not always rise to the top. Sometimes the worst type of videos or research-centric videos are shown to you because they're popular, because the algorithm has deemed them popular. Do you want the same thing happening to your studies? I didn't think so. There's also, in terms of mental health, depersonalization of learning. Now, while I mentioned all the benefits there, it is ultimately a machine your students are talking to. So the human elements of empathy, mentorship, nuanced understanding, it's not impossible to replicate with AI. It's just difficult. And no matter what, it is weird. But that just could be a generational thing. Younger generations, the iPad generation in particular, they might just be used to it. So it may not be a huge issue for them. A lot of them are availing of AI therapy. So there is a precedence there for that depersonalization of learning to just go away with time. Cost and implementation challenges, obviously very important. AI can be expensive and it can be challenging as well in terms of staff training. That's also expensive. So the costs associated with, technology acquisition, maintenance, obviously training, that can be a challenge, and it can potentially widen the gap between well-funded and under-resourced schools and colleges. I do think long-term, though, that the cost spent on training staff in AI will save money over time. And of course, the best type of money that's saved is time saved. The big one, of course, the panacea, I suppose, the lack of trust and acceptance by everyone regarding AI. Being the prophet of doom that I am, that goes around giving workshops on AI, presentations on it, I'm here to take your jobs, blah, 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 the usual stuff. It's very hard to get over that lack of trust and acceptance. I do understand it though. I completely do. I had a lovely business. I had an academic consultancy business for 10 years and it was hollowed out by AI. It was completely eaten alive. And I sat there for about 6 months watching my business been eroded away. And I kind of said to myself, do you know what? I saw this coming and I did prepare for it. And rather than just go around, sort of feeling sorry for myself, I kind of said, change is good. You have these technology spikes every once in a while. Every industry is susceptible to some new technology and then dies out. I do think that field of academic consultancy, proofreading, editing, all that, it's slowly going away. And you kind of have to pivot then. I do understand that people who that's not touched them just yet, they are looking at it thinking, I don't think my job is safe. Again, I'm a great man for saying it's another video I'm going to do, but it will be another video I will do. I've a lot to talk about. I was chatting to a friend. It's going to sound very anecdotal for my heavily sourced video. I was chatting to my friend the other day. So she does a lot of secretary type work. She goes to meetings, takes notes, produces reports, that sort of stuff, organizes a lot of stuff. She's worried about AI. And I said, the best thing you could do is learn about AI and train up on it and have it be a complement to your own skills. The people at that meeting have a secretary there or different people fulfilling different roles because they have enough on their plate. And for people who think, well, a dictaphone has replaced a person who takes notes, you're simplifying that to such a degree that it's almost ridiculous because someone has to type up the notes, organize them, and then disseminate them. And the people at that meeting do not want to do that job. So if you just say AI is going to get rid of that person's job, then the people who are still at that meeting do not want that job either. And AI has not become sentient to the point that it walks into the room and does that job. We're not there. So I think a lot of people, there's a lot of scaremongering. I think there's a lot of fears. I think if people used the tools, as I keep telling people to do, you'll see that it's a great tool, but ChatGPT needs you to function. It doesn't just walk into the college and take over. It's not like, what's that movie with Donald Sutherland, the pod people? That's what people think it is. It's not that. Relax. It's okay. We're not pod people just yet. Now, where's my notes? I'm gone off topic again. Oh, here, look. The best, save the best for last. Academic integrity and plagiarism. We've all seen it. I have students who use ChatGPT. And I stay awake at night figuring out the best ways to not just catch them out, but to educate them on it. And I've had many a Columbo moment with my students where they think they got away with it. And it's just like, just one more thing. And then they capitulate eventually to the barrage of questions I now ask them about their obvious generated content. So AI misuse is a huge thing at the moment, but I would argue it's because the students don't know what they're doing. And they don't know what to do. This thing just landed it's like Superman. It just landed in the field one day and it became our savior. And people are like, oh my God, I don't actually have to do anything anymore. This messianic thing is going to do everything for me. So it is causing us all to rethink stuff. I'm blue in the face saying it. This is the education sector's coronavirus. Seemingly came out of nowhere. We're all playing catch up, rules and regulations. Some of them might seem mental, but it's just an educational system that doesn't know what to do right now. So they're doing everything. It's the shotgun approach, if I could borrow the term from my medical friends. Whatever works, we'll try that. You know what I'm going to say next? I have another video on this regarding the panopticon of education. We don't want to go too far with our shotgun approach. That's all I'll say. Just leave a little tease there for that video. So we need to develop ethical guidelines for AI implementation. We need to harness the benefits of AI, but also tell the students, here, look, don't take the PISS, okay? And that means we have to have transparency regulations, privacy protection, bias monitoring, human oversight. Humans, we haven't gone away, Equity, accessibility, design AI tools that support diverse learning needs, and obviously reduce those inequalities. And obviously academic honesty. Again, the Columbo method, I'm a nice charming individual to my students. I use the Columbo method in jest. A lot of lecturers, supervisors, academic staff do not, and they petrify their students into using this technology even more, okay? Everyone is using it, okay? We need to get over ourselves. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm not saying anymore. Again, okay, look, whether we like it or not, it does have the potential to revolutionize education, okay? I'm going to be frontier man, out in the frontier with my bell, banging on about AI in education, okay? It ruined my business, it ruined my life, okay? But now I've become at one with my AI overlord. And now I travel around the country with my C3PO and my R2D2, and I'm having a great time. I've had many years of experience of doing traditional research, okay? A PhD student, a PhD survivor, actually. It's a better term for it. I ran an academic consultancy business for over 10 years, blue in the face, okay? I've got academia coming out of my pores, okay? I sweat academia. So take it from me, okay? I'm a curmudgeon at the best of times, okay? But I also have to realize that the world is changing and things change, and the educational system we're all used to, it's sort of going away a little bit, okay? But maybe it needed to. If you're coming to work and you're like, I can't believe I have to come into this bloody place. How many years till retirement? Can I retire early? You know, all this sort of, how much administrative work do I have to do? If I have to go to one more Zoom meeting about X, Y, and Z, we've all been there, okay? Imagine a world where a messianic robotic overlord has descended from the heavens and is now offering you the opportunity to spend more time on why you got into education. I think that's very good, okay? And that future is bright. And whether you realize it or not, that future is right here.